Hey, Jessica. Glad to have you back for another great conversation on our podcast.
Thanks, Mark. Always a pleasure to join you. I've been thinking about something that keeps coming up in conversations with our listeners.
Oh, now you've got my attention. What's on your mind?
Well, a lot of people have been asking, how does listening to native speakers actually make you better at English?
Ah, that's such a relevant question. And it's something every English learner wonders about at some point. Listening to native speakers is like diving into a real-life classroom where you learn things beyond just grammar and vocabulary.
A real-life classroom? That sounds intriguing. Can you break it down a little more? So, Mark, let me ask you, what comes to mind when you hear the name Jeff Bezos?
Oh, that's easy. Amazon. The man practically reinvented how the world shops.
Exactly. But he's not just about online shopping, right? Bezos is much more than that.
Oh, for sure. He's the guy who started Amazon in his garage, and now it's one of the biggest companies in the world. And let's not forget about Blue Origin, his space company. Bezos is taking the sky's the limit idea to a whole new level, literally.
Right? I read somewhere that his goal is to make space travel as common as taking a flight. I mean, how ambitious is that?
Very. The man is a visionary, and it's not just about business. He's also into other ventures like the Washington Post, which he bought to bring it into the digital age.
He's definitely a game changer. Oh, and speaking of Amazon, did you know it didn't start with books or e-commerce as we know it?
Really? What was it then?
It was originally an online bookstore. Can you imagine? From selling books to delivering groceries, streaming movies, and launching rockets. What a journey!
Speaking of impressive journeys, do you know who the richest person in the world is?
Of course. Everybody knows it's Elon Musk.
That's right. But right after Elon Musk, the second richest person is Jeff Bezos.
So friends, today we're going to learn new words from his dialogue and improve our listening skills too. Let's dive in.
Well, let's listen to the dialogue first, and then we'll learn some new phrases and examples together.
But we had my grandfather, after my grandmother died, I was about 12 and I kept coming to the ranch.
All right, let's break that down. The phrase kept coming means that the action happened repeatedly over a period of time. In this case, the speaker regularly went to the ranch after a significant event, the death of their grandmother.
Exactly. Kept coming is used to show that something was happening continuously or repeatedly. For example, you could say, I kept visiting my grandmother every weekend to show that the action happened regularly.
Great point, Jessica. So, whenever you want to talk about something you did repeatedly or often in the past, you can use kept coming or similar structures like kept doing.
Now it's time for a challenge. We want to hear from you, our viewers. Try making your own example using kept coming. Drop your sentences in the comments below, and let's see how creative you can get with it.
Every startup company is unlikely to work. It's helpful to be in reality about that, but that doesn't mean you can't be optimistic.
All right, let's talk about the next word, optimistic. Did you hear that line? Every startup company is unlikely to work. It's helpful to be in reality about that, but that doesn't mean you can't be optimistic.
Yeah, that's such a powerful statement. It's like saying, yes, the odds might be against you, but keeping a positive mindset can make all the difference.
Exactly. Optimistic means looking at the bright side or expecting good things to happen, even if the situation is tough. It doesn't mean ignoring reality. It just means choosing to focus on what could go right instead of what might go wrong.
Oh, I've got a story about optimism. You know how I started my blog? I was so scared it wouldn't work because there were already a million blogs out there. But I told myself, be optimistic, Jessica. Maybe your unique voice will reach the right audience. And guess what? It did.
That's the spirit. Optimism doesn't guarantee success, but it keeps you moving forward. I remember when my cousin started a small cafe in our neighborhood. Everyone told him it wouldn't work because there were already so many big coffee chains around. But he stayed optimistic, kept experimenting, and now his cafe is the local favorite.
So let's practice using optimistic. I'll start. Even though it's raining today, I'm optimistic the sun will come out later.
Nice one. Here's mine. I'm optimistic that our podcast will inspire people to learn English in a fun way.
Now it's your turn, listeners. Share your own sentences using optimistic in the comments. We can't wait to see your ideas.
I guess the first time I came to India was about 11 years ago. I don't know that I have seen perceptible changes of any great magnitude. One of the things I notice every time I come here is that there is so much energy here and dynamism and color.
All right, Jessica. Here's another great word from the dialogue. Perceptible. Did you catch that part? I don't know that I have seen perceptible changes of any great magnitude.
Yeah, I heard that. So, perceptible means something that's noticeable or able to be seen or felt. It's like saying, I didn't notice any big or obvious changes.
Exactly. Let's make it more relatable. Imagine you've been planting a garden, and after weeks of watering and care, you notice the first tiny sprouts poking out of the soil. Those are perceptible changes. They're small, but you can see them.
Oh, I've got an example too. Last month, I started exercising regularly. At first, I didn't feel much difference, but now I've noticed a perceptible improvement in my energy levels. I don't get tired as quickly anymore.
That's a great one. And here's a story. My neighbor started learning guitar last year. In the beginning, the progress wasn't very perceptible, but now you can hear the difference when he plays. He's much better.
Now it's your turn, listeners. Can you think of a moment when you noticed a perceptible change in something? Maybe in your life, your studies, or even the world around you. Share your stories or examples in the comments.
Or anything you tried to sell and didn't work?
There are things we tried to sell that didn't work. We tried to sell a phone called the Fire Phone, and we worked on it for 4 years, and no one bought it. I think my mother bought one, and I don't think she was that happy with it. But no, there are things that we deliberately don't sell. We don't sell guns.
All right, Jessica. Here's another key moment from the dialogue I want to unpack. There are things we deliberately don't sell. We don't sell guns.
Oh, that word, deliberately. Such an interesting one. It means doing something on purpose or intentionally, right?
Exactly. When you do something deliberately, you've made a conscious decision about it. It's not random or accidental. For example, they deliberately chose not to sell guns because it didn't align with their values or goals.
That makes sense. I can think of a small, real-life example. Remember when I told you about my cousin? She's super passionate about reducing waste, so she deliberately carries reusable bags everywhere, even if it's inconvenient sometimes.
That's a great example. And here's another one. When I was younger, I was trying to improve my focus, so I deliberately started putting my phone in another room while studying. It was tough at first, but it worked wonders.
I love that. It shows how being intentional with your choices can make a big difference. What about you, listeners? Have you ever deliberately done something that changed your habits or helped you reach a goal?
Drop your examples in the comments. Here's mine to kick it off. I deliberately started waking up 30 minutes earlier to read, and it's now my favorite part of the day.
And mine. I deliberately stopped checking my social media before bed, and I've been sleeping so much better.
If you found the video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.